How you doing?
What's up?
How you doing, DeShawn? All right, so I'm just going to do my intro, and then we're going to just get into this interview because I want to hear all about your business and what you got to offer to like everyone, and what's your business and your clothes. Happy Friday, everyone, and I'm the host of Iron Active Health Show, and thank you for joining us. So, where are you from originally?
So I live in the DC metropolitan area.
DC. Okay, so I know you the CEO of 100Brawn. How did that come about?
Um, well, actually, 100 Brown was like a couple years in the making. Um, I had a clothing brand before. I was in college, kind of got hectic and things like that, so I had to put it to the side. But I just wasn't. It wasn't going in the direction that I wanted to go. So I actually was sitting on 100 Brown for like some years. I didn't know like what I wanted to do. But then as a big guy myself, I found it hard to find certain items that I liked in streetwear. So I was like, maybe I should do like a brand that's strictly for like the bigger guys. So I created 100 Brawn, and then that's how I went.
Oh, it sounds lit. What was the name of your first one, and what
Uh,
what went wrong with it?
so the first one was called Loyal Kingdom. Nothing went wrong. I just felt like I was selling clothes. It just wasn't. It didn't really have any direction. It was just kind of going with the flow type thing, and so that was like when like clothing brands were like really like the thing to do. Like that's when like Big Cartel like first came out and stuff like that. So um, it just wasn't really no like direction. I didn't truly have any guidance. I didn't have like a mentor or any. It was just all over the place. So yeah.
And so, with that being said, did that change when you started 100 Brawn? You got more direction or a mentor or a coach to lead you in the direction you're going to now?
Yes, so I was more intentional about everything that I did. I found a mentor, somebody I went to college with that is doing successful in the apparel space as well. So she definitely helped me out like a lot. Also did a lot of networking, like on social media and stuff like that. Did a lot of like research, teaching myself how to use certain platforms, how to design better, just the whole learning about like cut and sew, marketing, what does it mean to have like a niche, like things like that. So I did like a lot of research when it came to that.
Once you figure that out, how did you make it? How do you overcome that proof of concept that you're willing to take it further? Like once you learned all that and you said you want to start 100 Brawn, like where did you get that proof of concept? Like, okay, I want to keep going with this.
So how I actually, well, my mentor, she was like, I definitely think you should do that because nobody else has done that. Like I can't think of nobody, even people that's like have big brands. Like there's only like a handful of people that actually does that. And she was like, I think you should do that. But how I really proved my proof of concept was when I was using TikTok, and like the first time I went viral, and then like the feedback that I was getting, like the DMs and the messages, the emails, things like that. That's what really solidified the proof of concept.
Was that the first way you started marketing it on TikTok?
No, no, actually, I ran ads like everybody else. I was posting on social Instagram, trying to figure that out, and it didn't work.
What exactly didn't work on like Instagram when you tried it that way before TikTok?
So so with Instagram, like I was having troubles like finding like my target audience, like how to actually um like be able to reach them. I was able to find like certain influencers and things like that, but Instagram is very the algorithm is very picky when it comes to like choosing who they want to see your content and things like that. And then the same thing with like ads and stuff like that. Like there's knowledge to be learned about in terms of ads, and nobody really told me about like building my pixel and Shopify and things like that. That just because you run an ad doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to it's going to work and stuff like that. So pretty much nothing was like resonating. Like I was getting sales and things like that, but nothing was really covering the grounds like how I am now when it comes to TikTok.
Okay. Quick question. So you say you use Shopify, right, as your store? Why
Yeah.
did you choose that over Wix?
Well, I have history with um Big Cartel. Wix I haven't personally used, but I know other people who have used them and they gave me their feedback and their experiences on it. And then like my mentor uses Shopify, and then she gave me the rundown on why I shouldn't use other platforms and things like that. So she sold me with Shopify. I say after the first month, like I understood like why people use Shopify, because it's just they just set you up to like win. So it's just very hard for you to not do well using the Shopify platform.
How did you blossom on TikTok? 'Cause I try to use it. I still don't understand it.
So it happened on accident. When I was originally posting, I was posting the same way that I was posting on Instagram, but one day I was just enjoying TikTok like as a consumer, and then I was like learning it, and then I started seeing like some similarities and certain things on how like people like interacted on there, how they make the content, and then one day I filmed content based upon how I saw somebody else do it, and then I went viral. And I was like, let me see if I can repeat this and continue to learn. So I continued to study the culture on TikTok, um, going back to research, finding out what my target audience like to see on TikTok, things like that. And then I went viral again. Then I, tested my gangsta out on my mentor, and then it worked for her as well. So then I just kept repeating the process, and we're about 190,000 followers strong.
Oh wow! So with that method, would you say like if somebody wants to go viral on TikTok, they should so whatever they're selling, they should try to hit the pain point of their audience, and that's kind of how it molded to going viral.
Yeah. So, but it's a lot more to the mix, as just besides the pain point. But that is definitely one of the key things that people miss out on, in understanding their target audience. Luckily, I happen to be my target audience for my brand. So a lot of the things that I go through as a big guy, so does my target audience. So I just create content based upon my experience, and then it just resonates well with everybody else.
Oh, that sounds lit. Okay. What else did I want to ask? So, how did you come up with the designs? I've been looking at them. They're dope. I love your designs.
So it just depends. It could be what I think is missing in the market for us. It could be, music, just walking down the street, just different cultures, watching, music videos, things like that. Inspiration comes from like everywhere. And then, just looking at different colors. I might see an outfit on somebody else and I like the color combination. And then I think about how I can implement that into my brand and just take it from there.
When you started, like, how did the manufacturing and gathering your clothing come about? Like, did you do it like within the U.S. or did you go international?
I did a combination of both. I do. It depends on what the item is. If I can do it in house, I try to. And then anything complex that's without of my expertise, I send it overseas.
What tips would you give somebody who's just starting a clothing brand and they don't know how to outsource, or they need someone to they have the idea but they can't put it on paper to design? What tips do you give to that new clothing designer or entrepreneur?
I definitely would tell them to kind of like study maybe like 3 to 5 different like clothing brands like that they look up to, and see what similarities that they see within the brand. I will also tell them to think about like their why, like the brand, like what is the story behind the brand. Because I'm a firm believer that people don't buy clothes, they buy like the story behind it. Like, do they resonate with the brand, things like that. So I tell them to make sure that, if anything, before they start designing, is to make sure their brand is like solidified. Like, they need to think about like the why, like who is this for? Like, because there's tens and tens of millions of clothing brands and stuff like that. But what is going to set you apart from everybody else? So I would tell them to hone in on that.
So I know it's not always up ladder with this whole clothing apparel. So what type of mindset do you have going in, like with your ups and downs?
You're your biggest cheerleader, and that don't worry about the people that you know about supporting you. There's tens and tens of millions of people that is ready to support brands that resonate with them. So your strangers are your best supporters. So I would nurture them and take it from there.
When you order your first set of clothing from the manufacturer, what's some mishaps you had? So the audience can, like, look forward to, and they can.
I had a mishap today actually, but the first mishap ever is that I had sent a lot of money over instead of getting a sample, and then my bulk that came in was trash. Like, I couldn't use it at all. So I had lost some money from that right off the bat. And that was definitely something else. Another mishap, when you send, like, you ask for a specific color and then it comes back like a different shade. That's one thing. Just quality. You might ask for something to be on the front and the back, and then it's something that's only on the front. That's what happened to me today, in the middle of my photo shoot. So that's one thing that can happen. And then, stuff being short, like, you ask for 100 and then only 92 get there, or like, or things being late. So those are some things that you can look forward to in terms of, and then of course sizing. Sizing is not like what you asked for. So those are the things that you could look forward to when it comes to manufacturing.
What did you start off with, like shirts, or when you started 100Brawn, like did you just go through like 2 designs, 3, like a shirt, a hoodie? What did you start off with initially?
I think I started off with shirts. And then, I started off with shirts. And then after that, I started off with shirts and a jogger suit.
How many shirts did you start off with?
Well, for me, my business model was a little bit different than everybody else. I actually live near like a place that does blank apparel. So technically I run off a pre-sale model, even though that's not how it's advertised. So whenever I get orders, I buy the bulk of the blanks that I need then, and then I fulfill the orders. So technically, even though I have like a bunch of shirts, I technically don't have them on me, but I purchase the shirts and then we manufacture them in-house and then ship them out.
When did you start 100Brawn? Like the year and the month?
June 2020.
June 2020. How long did it take you to hit 5 figures, or to 6?
6 figures. It took me a year and a half. Yeah, a year and a half. To 5 figures, it took me like 5 months, 6 months.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Before I forget, where can my audience find you at? Like, as far as your whatever services you provide and your website.
You can find my brand 100Brawn at 100Brawn on all platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. My personal is Isms of Shawn, so IZMS of Shawn, OFSHAWN, and yeah, that's pretty much where you can find me at.
And then you also have like one-on-one or a group session for TikTok if people want to get more experience with that.
Yeah, so I do business teaching for TikTok or any type of apparel brand and things like that. They want to learn how to get that started. And that is at Teeisms, TEEIZMS.
All right. I appreciate you coming on, DeShawn. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Sorry about the slight delay. I sent you the wrong link. I went live by accident. I'm like, oh man.
Nah, it's okay. It's good.
All right. Yeah, I appreciate that. And thank you for everything. I learned a lot today because I got my own clothing business and I'm trying to come up in and just remodel my business plan. So thank you for that as well.
All right, yeah. Thanks for having me, man.
Of course, my pleasure. You have a good one.
All right.
Peace. Thank you everyone for viewing today. I had an amazing guest, somebody who I've been looking forward to meeting for like 3 months. I saw him on what is it called? On one of my favorite YouTube channels, T-shirt Millionaires. This dude dope. 100Brawn. If you're a big guy and you need clothes, go check him out. Man, he got what you need. Attire for any occasion. But I appreciate everybody coming on. All right, love.